And here we go, the Pittsburgh Steelers back for another practice, but this time the Buffalo Bills are involved. They just concluded their first training camp or joint training camp practice officially, and we have so much to talk about in terms of news, notes, highlights, observations from another day here of training camp. Now, before we dive into all the news and notes, I do want to give a massive shout out to all of the Steelers and Bills media team out there who, work so hard every single day to get these highlights out for us, to get the news out for us, and without them, these videos aren't really possible to make. So do me a favor and go follow them on X. There are so many that do such a good job. You're going to see 3 of the Steelers ones at the top left, but if you want some Bills ones, you have Alex Brasky. He's a really good one, posts a bunch of highlights and news and notes from practice. You also have guys like, for example, Sal Capaccio. Hopefully I said that right, but he's another one for the Bills. So go follow them on X if you haven't already done so. And with that being said, let's kind of get into the video and talk a little bit about today's practice. So opening up for the Steelers, it looked like Justin Fields and Russell Wilson were both kind of, splitting those first team reps during 7 shots. The offense looked really, really good for the Steelers. We're going to get into that in a minute. I do want to say that Zach Frazier was running as the first team center in today's practice. We saw, a good amount of both running backs, Najee and Jaylen Warren as well. That is going to continue to be a 1-2 punch going forward. But getting into the 7 shots here, Russell Wilson was the first quarterback to get some throws, right? Frazier at center against the Bills defense. The Steelers actually won 4-3 or 5-2, depending on how you view one of the potential sack opportunities. The first play, Russell Wilson, led a nice little touchdown over the middle of the field. Beautiful. Second play, Rousseau got a sack. Looks like it was a really good coverage play by the DBs, and they just had to take a sack there. We had a slant touchdown to Dez Fitzpatrick. We had a Jaylen Warren stuff at the goal line, and then Justin Fields came in for a couple of quarterback throws. We got a QB option, basically a walk-in touchdown. Good job there by Justin Fields. We had a play-action flat touchdown to Cordell Patterson, who was just recently coming off that PUP list. And then we had a McCormick false start, but on the play, right, they let him play anyways and had a Fields to Miller touchdown. Scotty Miller continuing to, show why he could be a nice little option for this team. Now, for the Bills, their offense went 3 of 4 during this drill, including a nasty trick play at the end as well. Now, for the Bills players who actually weren't participating today, we had Curtis Samuel, Dawson Knox, Casey Toohill, Nicholas Morrow, Cole Bishop, Mike Edwards, Matt Milano, who we just heard will be out until around December with those torn biceps, Balin Spector, as well as Lawrence Keys, Travis Clayton, also not participating in this joint practice for the Bills. We had a really good touchdown to Mac Hollins from Josh Allen. 10 toes in the back of the end zone. Beautiful job in the corner. Again, Mac Hollins has looked really good throughout camp so far, and today was just another telltale sign that he's going to get a decent amount of reps for this football team. Then we had some one-on-ones after 7 shots, and before we get into those, do me a big favor, guys, hit the like button, but more importantly, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It is free, it doesn't cost anything, and we will be covering the Bills and the Steelers throughout the remainder of the offseason. Every single preseason game, we got you guys covered. Going to be live streaming those on my Twitch if you want to watch them with me and kind of break down the film. Follow my Twitch, the link will be in the description, or you can find it at Matty Dubs with 3 S's. But more importantly, we're going to be breaking down film from their games. More importantly, the Bills and Steelers game. We're going to have film breakdown for that. So join the family if you haven't already done so. And lastly, do me another big time favor. If you guys like winning money, there's no better spot to do it with Underdog Fantasy. Guys, go check out the link in the description because they will not only give you free money once you sign up and deposit some, but also going to give you a free square. You might be asking, what does that mean exactly? Yeah, they're going to give you Russell Wilson or Josh Allen over half a yard in the debut. The freest money you'll ever win in your life. I mean, it's insane. So go check it out. Sign up. Use my code in the description. With that being said, let's get back into the video. Patrick Queen had a really good rep against Dalton Kincaid absolutely clamped him up on a 1v1. We had DeMarvin Leal with 2 big-time wins in his one-on-one reps, just dominating. He looks really good, and he looked good during their preseason game as one. We had Broderick Jones win against Greg Rousseau 2 times. We had Zach Frazier win 1 and then lose 1 with Daquan Jones. We saw Isaac Samalo win 2 times against the Bills. We had Broderick Jones winning against Von Miller, which is a big W if you're a Steelers fan. We saw Dan Moore split 1-1 with his reps. We saw Tykeem Doss bulldoze Kingsley Jonathan, and then Spencer Anderson won against Austin Johnson. Now, these notes specifically are from Christopher Carter at Carter Critiques on X. Make sure you follow him. He posts so much as well. Let's go back to some more one-on-one reps with the Bills. So, Josh Allen had an incompletion to Keon Coleman. We had a complete to Shakir. We also had a James Cook completed wheel route. We had incomplete to Kincaid. And then Holland's back shoulder catch. That was nice to see. Trubisky then comes in. KJ Hamler with a nice catch. Ty Johnson with the catch. And then Morris with another catch as well. Josh Allen gets back into the one-on-ones. Shavers complete. Keon Coleman incomplete. Ray Davis completed. Khalil Shakir catch. Cook catch. And then a Keon Coleman beautiful route. I believe he caught the ball, but I'm not too sure there. Definitely saw that throughout one-on-ones for the Bills. Now, we did have some defensive work. AJ Epinesa got a what would have been a sack on Justin Fields. Obviously, they're not allowed to contact the quarterback. So, that being said, I'll put it in the stat book for AJ Epinesa. That is a sack. We'll give it to him there. We had, let's see, what else do we have here? We had Broderick Jones. Had a couple of good reps during 11s. The first play of 11-11s, we had a 40-yard touchdown to Najee Harris. Beautiful play. Other than that one run, dude, it felt like the Bills' front seven was getting the most of the running game for the Steelers. Couldn't really buy too much space at all. But when they were passing the ball, the Steelers actually did pretty well. So big credit to the front seven of the Bills. Russell Wilson did throw a dot on a corner route to Van Jefferson. He continues to stand out over pretty much the entirety of training camp. We saw Kaiir Elam kind of get injured towards punt return practice. And he actually left and took off his pads. Was on the sideline for the rest of practice. Him and, I want to say, Corey Trice got into it a little bit here during punt coverage. So maybe that is something to look at. We had, alright, so during 11-on-11s, we had Fields complete to Jefferson for about 15 yards. We had a Jaylen Warren run for 15 yards. Fields missed Jefferson deep. And then had Austin for a touchdown. If he would have thrown to Austin, he was wide open. We had Harris stuffed, no gain. We had Patterson TFL in the backfield by DeJuan Smoot. And then Russell Wilson came in, threw it to Shamplin for a 10 yards. Or actually, it was just a run. Deep ball to Miller. Incomplete fade. Deep defensive pass interference on, I believe, Kaiir Elam. And then Shamplin again for about 8 yards as well. I'm trying to see if we have anything else that we really need to. Oh, Beanie Bishop getting a lot of good reps today. He's another one that I'm very, very high on just because now Braylon Allen, or I believe that's his name, just went on the IR or PUP list. So he's going to be out for a little bit. Braylon Arnold. I apologize. I think I said Allen. Braylon Arnold he was put on the IR. So don't know if he's going to be out for the year or what the injury is specifically, but keep that in mind. Some 11-on-11 for the Bills. We had a false start on offensive tackle versus Herbig. So false start on the offense. We had Kincaid on an out route for about 10 yards. Offensive pass interference was called. We had a screen for 5 yards. We had an Elliott PBU for the Steelers versus Reggie Gilliam. We had Anthony Averett gave up 12-yard comeback. We had Peyton Wilson gets beat by Morris on a 10-yard corner. And then another Anthony Averett PBU. But yeah, overall, today practice was really fun, entertaining. They're ramping up for, obviously, their preseason game. In a couple of days from now, I believe we already covered Steelers offense 11. They had a lot of different 11-on-11 plays Okay, yeah, so we had some more. We had George Pickens on the 10-yard L route. We had Scotty Miller for 15. I don't believe I told you guys this yet. And again, these are from Nick Farabaugh. You can follow them on X as well. They give you so much information about practice, so make sure you guys go cover that. We had Dorian Williams knock down a pass at the line of scrimmage, some pushing and shoving between both teams. Not really a fight. Right now, a lot of coaches are saying, hey, if you fight, you're playing the entire game. And a lot of guys do not want to play the entire game. We also saw Josh Allen to Khalil Shakir. I mean, they have been in such a good rhythm as of late. It's going to be hard to stop them. It was about 30-yard pass down the field, touchdown, right over the defender's head, and into the arms of Khalil Shakir for a nice little touchdown. But overall, today was a good practice. That's pretty much it. There was a little bit more towards the end. But again, they weren't allowed to record any of it, so I do apologize for that. Make sure you guys do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family if you haven't already done so. We're going to be covering the Steelers and the Bills throughout the entirety of the offseason. So, yeah, join the family. Give me some guys you're excited to see, and